Well, hello, this is Jamie Oikel from runningrestaurants.com, where we bring you the tips, tools, and techniques you need to make your restaurant more profitable and successful. Today, I've got a great one question with episode for you with Laura Yetzi of the Safranco Advisory Group, which helps restaurant owners and prospective operators buy and sell hospitality businesses. Here we go. All right, Laura, I want to talk about the question that I think is on everybody's mind, right? And that is, how much is my restaurant worth? So let's say you have a couple minutes to talk about valuation. What do you say?
Well, as with any business, you can approach restaurant valuation three ways. There's the asset approach, market approach, and income approach. Given the diversity of businesses in the food and drink industry, there is no single formula to best measure what a restaurant is worth. There are a number of key factors that do affect the value of a restaurant. They include a track record of sustainable sales growth. Obviously, we want to see restaurants that have, growth year after year, stable earnings for the owner operator, the condition of the furniture, fixtures, equipment, and any leasehold improvements that were made to this space, as well as the lease terms. Turnkey restaurants and great locations are more valuable. The condition of the equipment and the restaurant value, plays a large role in the price that you're, going to be asking or getting for the restaurant. And high rent will kill a restaurant's value. Rent that exceeds 10% of the gross revenues is considered excessive. So that's one thing that most buyers tend to stay away from.
Sure. So I think this is an interesting follow-up question because in mentioning three techniques to create valuation, I'm guessing that the buyers and the sellers have a different preference for which one is used. So if I'm a buyer, what do you see your buyers more interested in which valuation methodology do you think they care the most about when doing the transaction?
So buyers, I think most buyers typically tend to lean towards the income approach. With the income approach, you're taking a multiple of your bottom line cash flow. So in an independent standalone operation, it's 3.5 to 4.5 times cash flow. Buyers like to see this because it means that the business is showing that there is a cash flow, that there is money to be made here. Most of the time, sellers don't necessarily like that approach because there's oftentimes the records aren't that clean, or they may have had a bad accountant that just didn't do the best job of handling their books. So most times I think our sellers like to see the asset approach or the market approach. If they have a location that's in a great neighborhood and 1-2 blocks over sold for this price, they're sort of going that comparable route. But asset approach seems to be the most common with sellers.
Yeah, I'm just gonna follow up there because I'm curious. So you talked about a multiple 3 to 4, 3.5, 4.5 times, and if I was the buyer, that gives me a good indication. I would love to see, hey, the place is making $200,000 a year, so we're going to value it at 4 times. I'm going to pay $800K. It's pretty straightforward. Meanwhile, the seller might have this grandiose idea in their mind. Hey, we're in a great neighborhood. I've been here for 20 years. It's worth $2 million because Tom down the street sold for 3.5. So they get those brand attachments. How do you kind of go through that negotiation process in a deal? What do you think?
So I try to have an upfront conversation with the seller prior to listing. And, I think it's really important that you understand, like, this is their baby. This is their life. Like, they've devoted their time and their energy into building this restaurant. We've had businesses that are third generation businesses that their grandfather sold. So you need to be compassionate to the situation. But you also need to, sort of guide them down that path that I understand the emotional connection that you have to this business, but on the books, on paper, this is more of a feasible number.
Yeah, and I don't, what's the word I'm thinking of? I don't want to put myself in that place. Those can be some tricky conversations. And emotional, I guess, is the right word there. Absolutely. It's obviously an emotional process. when folks are looking for an exit. Hopefully it's a positive exit. You've built a business and it's time to move on, versus obviously sometimes they're negative exits where someone has to get out for various circumstances. But if it's the former, you want to build your business up, you want to have all the pieces in the right place, and obviously you want to maximize your sale price. So Laura and her team can absolutely help with that. So that was Laura Yutzi of the Sofranco Advisory Group. You can find them on the web at www.sofrancoadvisors.com. For more great restaurant marketing, operations, service, people, and tech tips, stay tuned to us here at runningrestaurants.com. We'll see you next time.